Southwick, both Ricky Carmichael and Travis Pastrana placed themselves at the top of the point standings with dominating victories. Who will accept the challenge to dethrone the defending champions? Find out next on Speed World. It's the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships. A record-breaking crowd awaits round 5 action at Budds Creek Motorcycle Park. Hello everybody, I'm Art Ekman and welcome to this most famous track which holds so many rich memories. Ezra Lusk won his first 250 National here. Volan won his first 125 National. Jeremy McGrath won a race here on way to a title that many said he would never win. But who can forget Doug Henry rocketing off the hillside right behind me, crashing, breaking his back, only to come back 3 years later and win here at Budds Creek on way to the 250 National Championship. The most famous crash in motocross history, and then glory in the long run for Doug Henry. Several GPs have been run here at Budds Creek. Who can forget the scene in 1999 with Kevin Windham, the American flag draped around his shoulders after beating Belgian Stefan Everts and the rest of the international field. Well, David Bailey, this track was deluged with rain for 3 straight days. It quit last night. The track, though, now is in perfect condition.
Well, like Mount Morris, they've had their share of mud races here, but today they've gotten really lucky with the weather. The track is perfect. They did a lot of work with the dozers to make sure these guys had great condition. Now let's join Davey Coombs over at the starting line.
Guys, the track was so muddy yesterday, they asked me to do the helmet cam during the qualifying. So I'm actually sitting here on the cement starting gate. You can see the guy holding the 32nd board down there. This is the 125 LCQ. Card sideways is going to be a second year start. That's what it looks like. Tight first turn, guys, going down. Crashing everywhere. Off the top. Down the bottom. Off the top. That's the Henry double. Really tough section. Look at the guys paddling down through there. I'm doing it too. Not the place you want to stall. Down the bottom. You don't have time to shift gears here. Very short technical section. So let's make it even worse though. Down in the bottom, they just added this today. Would have been fast, but as it is, it's just rough.
Travis Pastrana is coming up his second win in a row, taking over the points lead for the first time of the season on the Suzuki point standings. He leads by 8, but for the latest development, here's Davey.
Well, one guy who's not going to be on the start for the first moto is KTM Red Bull rider Grant Langston. Grant, I understand you just can't go because of the shoulder injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty unfortunate. I got injured last week in Southwick, and you know, I rode Southwick, and this week it's just too painful. I could barely hold on in practice, and it's unfortunately I'm going to have to be sitting out, which, you know, really hurts a lot.
Actually, exactly what is the schedule right now? How long do you think you'll be out?
We're not 100% sure yet because it looks like I'll have to have the operation because it's a pretty bad separation, you know. All the ligaments are snapped, so it looks like an operation, and that could be out from between, they estimate, depending on the damage, 3 to 6 weeks. So hopefully it's the 3 weeks rather than the 6 weeks.
You won the first 2 nationals. You were the points leader. How disappointed are you now to basically hand the title over to a Pastrana or a Mike Brown?
Yeah, it you know, hurts real bad. You know, maybe if I was in 5th place in the point standing, it would have been all right. But to get injured while leading the series, you know, it really kind of hurt a little bit. But after I was able to ride in Southwick, I thought maybe I could get around this injury. But it's just no ways. I cannot.
All right. Tough break, Grant. We're sorry to miss you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Grant Langston out here at Budds Creek.
Bad news competitive-wise as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid. Travis Pastrana, Mike Brown now has to take a leadership role in trying to make a points race out of it with Brock Sellards and the others. The veteran Larry Ward, who's had a very good season this year, coming back after not running the Supercross Tour. Roderick Tane riding with injuries as well. Danny Smith. Keith Johnson has had a couple of top privateer awards this year already. And the rest of the starting grid, 40 riders. It's a big story who isn't in the lineup, along with Langston, who's injured. Steve Lampson, a former 2-time champion, having a rough year of it. He's still out with injury. Nick Way failed to qualify for today's event. And Talon Bolin absent for the last 3 races, suffering a bad concussion in the second moto of the opener. This is a track he loves, winning here at 99. He will not be starting at the 125 Moto number 1. Both classes running 2 motos, 30 minutes each plus 2 laps. 40 riders in both the 125s and the 250. Moto number 1, we're off and running at Budds Creek, Maryland. Good start by Nathan Ramsey on the inside. And Ramsey goes down, look out. Privateer Danny Carlson takes the early lead. It looks like Narita, another Suzuki, is in the play. Boy, what a great race he had against Travis Pastrana at Mount Morris. There's number 100 of the pro circuit, Kawasaki. Mike Brown moving into second place, right behind Carlson. When does Brown make his move? This track is in great condition for passing. And you spell downhill? I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of passes on the downhill jumps.
I'm just amazed at how well this track is working right now. They're able to take different lines pretty much everywhere.
Here goes Brown, just shooting by for the lead. With the top challenger, Grant Langston, out with injury for the rest of the season, it looks like, Mike Brown senses the opportunity. And Pastrana, David, with not a very good start.
Oh, I haven't even seen him yet. You see, they did put a little bit of water down the track. Amazingly, this track was starting to dry out too much. Ryan Brown just splashed a puddle right there in Narita's face. He will have the best vision at the end of this lap. He'll still be clean. Some of the guys mid-pack are going to keep getting splashed. Watch Brown go to the outside. Now see this berm right here. Carlson's just trying to protect the inside, but Brown just monorails through that berm right there into the lead. And this is Nathan Ramsey with the whole shot. You see the back end kick like that? He didn't even have a chance. Washes right out and watch. Before he's even through falling, he's already looking back at the 39 riders coming his way. Sellers clips him a little bit right there, but what I like is he gets behind the bike to protect himself from everyone coming.
Mike Brown is our leader. What a great sight this must be for Mitch Payton, whose Splitfire Pro Circuit Kawasaki team uncharacteristically is having a tough year of it. Brown, Narita, Carlson, the top 3. Pastrana in 8th. Welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland. Art Eckman, David Bailey, and David Coombs bringing you the action. Moto number 1 of the 125s. And a big surprise right now is the fact that Pastrana is having to weed his way up through the pack. When we left you, he was in 8th position. Mike Brown has just taken off out in front, number 100.
Look at that lead. Still no Narita.
Narita finally coming over the hill on that Team Suzuki. Larry Ward on the Yamaha 4-stroke in 3rd. Brock Sellards. Michael Brandis starting to slip back now a bit.
Looks like he's got a, it doesn't look like he's riding as hard as he can. He may have a problem. That's too bad. He had a good start. I'll bet you Narita and Travis are kind of bummed the rain stopped. After the way Narita rode and Travis in Mount Morris, I don't think it bothers them very much. But anytime you're going to a race and it's raining, man, that's a bad feeling when you're a rider, unless you're great in the mud.
The rain stopped about 11:30 last night. They worked on the track all night long. They even had to water it earlier this morning. Let's go to Davey now.
Well, Doug, I know that you're new to working with Larry Ward, but what do you think so far, running 3rd?
This is a great experience. Larry's a fun guy to work with, and watching him ride just amazing.
How does he like the 4-stroke this year compared to, well, actually, you wouldn't know. You never worked with him before, right?
No, he really enjoys the 4-stroke. He says it handles well, and it's got great power compared to these 125s. So,
Do you think he can get after that Japanese rider, Narita?
oh, I think he's going to take him pretty soon. He's gaining him on him pretty quick. So.
Yeah, it's obvious Larry's having fun racing again. As a privateer, the pressure's not quite as intense. He's also made about $3,000 bonus money coming out on top in that privateer award. Let's go back to Davey.
Check out after that great start, Michael Brandis and the Moto XXX team out of the Moto. Looks like they're checking out flat front tire. Brandis running 3rd, just another bad break and a long streak for him.
So Larry Ward carries the banner then for the Moto XXX and the YZ250Fs. And here we check out Travis Pastrana. He's chasing Ernesto Fonseca now. Yamaha Troy. Pastrana making the speed move in the air. Pastrana moving into 6th place.
Danny Carlson just ahead of him. He's the guy that was leading the moto early. And Travis, each time he catches somebody, he catches them quick. As soon as he makes the pass, he pulls away immediately. He's flying, but he's still losing time to Brown out front, whose lap times are a lot faster than Travis's right now. That's a surprise.
Oh, great shot of him hitting just the right line coming through that corner. Pastrana, look at this terrific crowd here at Budds Creek, and I'll bet 30% of them are probably Travis Pastrana relatives, maybe. He's got 40 cousins that he had to get tickets to for their families as well.
Well, here it is again. They'll like this one. Look how bottomed out he is. He's hitting that jump a lot faster, gets to the downside, and he tries to jump this next plateau completely. He's able to put the pass on Fonseca and move up to Carlson here, and you see he's already pulled away from Fonseca now. So Travis really on the move.
Ooh, Carlson coming over on him. Probably didn't have much choice. He was a little bit out of control, but Pastrana now ready with the inside move to take over the position. David, Travis keeps you on the edge of your seat all the time. He's just now moved into 5th.
And that's not good enough for Travis's standards, especially here at Budds Creek. This is what he considers his home track. He likes this dirt. He's got plenty of people here watching. I'll bet you 70% of this crowd, if not more, is rooting for him right now. And he'd much rather be out front dicing with Brown. You see him look over to his left. He's going, okay, who's next? Pretty big gap up to that next pack.
And trailing in that next pack is a guy that on a KTM who's now the standard bearer for KTM with Grant Langston out, and that's Brock Sellards, who got a great start.
See, as he heads up that hill, Sellards is already right about here where Travis is now, so he's got a lot of ground to make up. For him to make the podium in this moto, he's going to have to do something spectacular. Here was the move on Carlson. Instead of going out and using that berm, he thought Carlson might try to cut to the inside like he's doing, so Travis just pivots right there on a dime, gets back on the gas. A lot of body English to get back out of that corner and stay ahead of Carlson.
The Japanese National Series has a break in their action, so that allows Akira Narita here in 2nd place to participate in the American Motocross Series. But look at this, Larry Ward is starting to pick up things, David.
Look at Larry's lines. Squares that corner beautiful and just carves a little bit more time out of Narita's lead on him.
So we've got a good run, but Mike Brown is way out in front. Look out for 2nd, though. Ward's on the move. Welcome back to 125 action from Budds Creek, Maryland. Mike Brown is our leader. That's Narita in 2nd place, Larry Ward in 3rd. Brock Sellards is in 4th on the KTM, and then we get to Travis Pastrana, who's got some space to catch up on. Here's Ward to the inside. Easy pass on Narita, so Ward moves into 2nd. Here comes Narita fighting back. The Japanese rider known for taking uncharted lines.
He tried to right there to get Larry back. Larry had him on the outside, but Narita had the inside into the corner, and Larry's just too smart for that. He's been around motocross way too long to let him get him right back on the inside like that, shut the door, and now Narita's left the battle with Sellards, and that should leave Larry out in the clear, but good luck catching Brown. Now watch when they approach this jump. Narita gets the front end a little too high. Look at the difference in their bikes. Narita's like this. Larry Ward's going to land flat. Perfect on the downside, go right into the inside. That was just an easy pass. You can bet with Sellards back there taking notes on that one. In case Narita does the same thing again, he'll make the pass the next lap.
So Larry Ward now in good position in 2nd place. Narita and Brock Sellards. That looks like it's going to be the next battle. Sellards, really time for a breakthrough race for him. He's coming off his best moto of the season, taking a 2nd place in the 2nd frame at Southwick. After getting the whole shot, he led all but the last lap, and Pastrana was able to catch him, but still, it was his finest moto of the year. Here comes Sellards now. He's looking to the inside. Bar to bar we go up the hill. Whoa, David, that's got to be a great thrill just flying up toward the forest there.
It is, especially anytime the terrain just drops away from you like that, like it does so many times around this racetrack. It's a lot of fun as a rider. Takes your breath away a little bit, and it's always difficult to judge the braking, how far you're going to fly to control the angle of the bike, because a lot of these drop-offs, as you leave the ground, you're under braking. It's more difficult to control the angle.
So Brock Sellards has moved into 3rd, Narita 4th. Pastrana, if he moves up the ladder, is going to have to take on Narita once again, like he did at Mount Morris.
I'll tell you what's just unbelievable is you look at Travis back there in 5th, and you look at where Brown is. It's almost a half a lap difference between those guys.
Michael Brown has been dealt the trump card, and he's playing it.
And look at Sellards here. Just a little bit better line. Doesn't really do anything heroic there. Just that's the second time that Narita just let somebody by with a little bit better line on the inside.
Mike Brown, Larry Ward, Brock Sellers, Akira Narita, and Travis Pastrana are top 5.
Look at that KTM. Those things are fast. You know, you look at Larry Ward on that YZ250F 4-stroke, you think, okay, he's got a power advantage. Then you look at Sellards, and it seems like he's got even more power.
It seems like the KTM has great acceleration, whereas the YZ has a lot of pull power. A little more traction.
A little more torque. These 125 KTMs. I said it at the first National at Glen Helen. I never thought KTM would make the kind of comeback they have, but that is an excellent machine. And Dowd's not doing too bad on the big bike either.
The American team receiving such great support from the KTM factory, and they were organized ready to take advantage of it. With Sellers mechanic is Davey Coombs. Davey?
How inspired is he to get a first Moto win this year?
He's been working really hard, and I'm surprised it hasn't came yet. He's kind of surprised, but he's got a lot of confidence, and you know, maybe it'll happen today. We'll see.
Brock's had a good, steady, strong ride, but out in front, number 100, Mike Brown, is just taken off and left the rest of the field. There's Larry Ward.
He must feel like he's in the lead, you know, because when he looks up the track, he doesn't have Brown in his sights anywhere. He's got to go off the jump, one of these big hills, and look way ahead over in another lane of the track coming back the other way to find Brown.
His name is Popeye. That's Narita's mechanic looking on.
Well, Narita's got plenty to worry about now.
Pastrana's right on him. Travis Pastrana to the inside.
And once again, Narita just leaves the door open a little bit. Now, if Travis getting by like that, looking a little easy, that doesn't surprise me, but to see him allow Sellards and Larry Ward by as easily as they seem to get by, that does surprise me a little bit, because Narita is a fighter, but he doesn't want to get in the way of Travis's progress with his championship, because Narita's not riding all these races. See Travis really trying to ride hard. You know what? It looks to me like, Art, at times plumbing up some of these hills, like Travis may be a little bit underpowered. There he is, a simple pass to the inside of Narita. It looks like he almost gave it to him.
Another thing to consider is Travis is a good deal heavier than Narita.
Yeah, extra weight on a 125 doesn't really work out. Travis is riding so hard to make up for it.
Hope you can make our next telecast on ESPN2 from Red Bud, Buchanan, Michigan. We're back with 125 action, opening moto at Budds Creek, Maryland. Mike Brown way out in front. The battle has been for second, third, and fourth places. And the crowd, of course, here with their native son from Annapolis, not too far down the road, coming up through the ranks, Travis Pastrana.
And look at this pack. Fonseca at the front. Remember, not long ago, he was with Travis. Right there, Travis got by, and he was not able to go that pace. He was able to work his way up around Narita and leave this pack, but he's a long ways behind Pastrana now.
Whoa, Narita took a real wide jump there. And right behind him is Brandon Jesselman, Bobby Bonds, and it looks like Sheik in that freight train.
These guys are just getting left behind now. Fonseca moved right through Narita and is pulled away. Can't believe the difference in lap times between this pack. About 5 seconds a lap up to Mike Brown. I mean, Brown is riding, he's always fast, but he's just spectacular today on this racetrack.
Well, after coming back from 2 GP seasons in Europe, he really showed us a much more aggressive riding style. Had 4 podiums in Supercross. Rubbing plastic.
Jesselman thought he had that pass made. He was up to the inside on that off camber, squared it off, but Narita just keeps fighting back.
Narita starting to make his mark here in America. Whoa! Looking a little bit wild. 1 foot down on the peg.
Well, Jesselman finally just got to the inside of him and made the pass. Narita thought he could square it. This is before all that got set up. Look at Narita's foot. Look how high it is. When you're in an off-camber laid over that far, it's got to be that close to the fork leg and that high. Then Jessman squared him off, got by. Narita didn't think he was going to be cutting that much to the left. They got together. Good save. Looked close for a moment.
Looks like the next battle will be Pastrana and number 18, Brock Sellers. This is very significant as far as catching up points from Mike Brown, who's way out in front here on the final lap. Sellers, if he holds Pastrana back, that's just a couple of more points that Mike Brown can catch up.
Yeah, 2 points is a big deal. It doesn't seem it maybe right at this moment, but remember Travis won the championship last year by 1 point. This could be the difference. Also, if Travis moves up one more spot, whichever one of these guys can hang on to third in this moto, it gives him a little better chance at winning the overall. So Travis is giving it all he's got, and Sellers has his hands full.
If we haven't seen a lot of number 100 on the split fire Pro Circuit Kawasaki out in front, neither has the rest of the field. We apologize. He just took off and rode his own race, and Mike Brown takes the checkered flag, puts him in good position to win his second motocross overall here in America. He's had one other win, and that was way back in 1995 at Washougal, Washington. Mike Brown, victorious in our first moto. Larry Ward holding on to second, and Brock Sellers holding off Pastrana for third. Let's go to Davey.
Mike, that's the moto you needed to end up with at Southwick last week. Way to come back firing.
Yeah, you know, this week it made me angry at not nobody, just myself for being stupid for the start there. But yeah, I practiced hard this week and in the heat, and I feel good, and you know, I'm ready to do another win.
That's 2 runaways out of 3 motos. What's been going on lately? You've really picked up the pace.
Yeah, I know, my bike's just working awesome. You know, I've been doing a lot of testing and traveling back and forth to California to get my bike right, and it's going good, man.
At one point, you were about 25 seconds ahead before you started to cruise. What do you have left for the second moto?
A lot, you know. I didn't feel like I was racing, really. You know, I was by myself and no pressure, but you never know. You always need more energy for the second moto, and I might have somebody there with me.
Good ride. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Helping Mike Brown in his comeback to get into contention with Travis Pastrana was Brock Sellers, who did a masterful job holding Travis off.
In the next moto, you start with Mike Brown. You think you could give him a battle like you did last week at Southwick? He had a moto just like yours.
Yeah, you know, I hope so. He was really going fast out there today, and I think me and Larry picked it up towards the half point of the race, but we'll see. I'd like to go out there and put the KTM up in the middle of the winner's circle.
Interesting development of the 125s. In the 250s, we've had 4 different winners in the first 4 rounds, and then Ricky Carmichael takes over number 1 in the points. Can he hold on? Back to Budds Creek, Maryland. We're getting set for our first 250 action of the afternoon. Absolute beautiful day in this area. Ricky Carmichael alongside of Sebastian Tortelli. There's Kevin Windham, number 14 on the Team Suzuki. Kevin's had a very steady start on the season.
And that surprises me a little bit, Art, after the way the Supercross season went. But look at him right there. Only 1 point out of second in the Suzuki point standings. He's there.
Tim Ferry in second place behind Carmichael, and Tortelli not that far away. Let's go down to the gate now where Davey Coombs is. Davey.
As you're ready to start the 250 class, the obvious favorite has to be Ricky Carmichael. He's got 5 moto wins in the first 8 this year, and right now he's back in the point seat. But don't forget about Tim Ferry, number 15 on the Yamaha. Well, Carmichael's got 5 moto wins. Ferry's got 5 second place finishes. He is very due for a moto win. The 2 of them hooked up earlier this morning in practice, really going at it. Ferry looks confident. Carmichael, as always, looks fast.
Ferry winning his very first 250 motocross of the opener at Glen Helen. As we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid, Ricky Carmichael, Ferry, Kevin Windham, Sebastian Tortelli. That's the order in the points. Mike LaRocco has been very steady. Not much different with Mike. Getting mediocre starts and coming up through the pack. David Villeman, also Ryan Hughes on the Honda 4-stroke. Kyle Lewis with the Moto XXX team. Ezra Lusk trying to fight back. He's got a little cracked ankle that he just isn't up to par yet.
He's had such a tough couple of years. Seems like his whole career has been that way, but when you see how fast the guy can go, the way he finished off the Supercross season, and I really thought he was going to come in here to the Nationals and have his chance at a title, but it's slipping away.
His first motocross win was right here at Budds Creek in 1997. That's Ezra Lusk I'm talking about as we look at a part of this great crowd here at Budds Creek, Maryland. The 250 field at the gate getting ready on that cement pad, warming up the tires, going through their routine. You see Ricky Carmichael right there. He's looking for his 4th Moto win in a row. Car is sideways. We're ready to go for Budds Creek.
You can see Tortelli get pinched right away.
Great start by Carmichael. Out in front, though, is Kevin Windham on the Team Suzuki. Windham, the hole shooter. Carmichael right behind him.
Look at Kevin just float over that drop away. This guy is so beautiful to watch. Makes it look so easy. I have a feeling it's not going to be that easy because he's got Carmichael right there.
Definitely one of Windham's favorite tracks, so here comes Carmichael. Boy, Carmichael gives him a little bump from behind on the rubber.
Kevin got in there a little hot, high-sided. Ricky follows so closely, he just bumps him a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to be easy. Kevin already can feel the pressure, literally.
Right now, Ricky Carmichael confident, taking his time, taking a good look at Kevin Windham now, backing off a little bit.
Check out Dowd. He's back there in 3rd.
He's on the KTM 4-stroke.
Well, it's helped so much to get up there and get great starts. Dowd's got a good look at what's going on out front. Helps so much for the rest of the race to know. Dowd looks like he comes up short a little bit there, but to be able to see what the guys in the lead are doing, to watch what Ricky does. Another little bobble by Windham. Corrects really quick. Doesn't seem to fluster them at all. They're already starting to get a gap on the rest of the field. Yeah, you're right, Art. Kevin has done well at this track. I know he likes it. He likes the soil. I think he likes the layout. Ricky's got his hands full here to try to put 4 motos together in a row.
He won here in '99, and then at the USGP, came back with that brilliant 2-1 performance against Stefan Everts. And what made that interesting was Everts really came out publicly to criticize the American riders for not having the gumption to face the international stars in the GP race.
Well, check this out. Kevin gets in here a little hot, a little bit of a high side, puts his foot down. Ricky's just all over him. Another little bobble here by Kevin. See, he gets on the gas early, a little bit too soon. And it helps. See, if that was Ricky doing that, his legs shorter, that might have been a bigger bobble there. It would have cost him some more time. Kevin doesn't even really break stride. Just taps his foot down, keeps the balance, and keeps on motor. And he's still got the lead and a cushion over Carmichael.
RC breaking that first Moto jinx at Southwick, finally picking off the win. In fact, he had the sweep. Windham, Carmichael, Ferry, top 3 with Hughes in 4th. The mistake costing Dowd. A battle for the lead is on here in the 250's first Moto, Budds Creek, Maryland. Kevin Windham, who from the very first turn has been out in the lead, has been challenged time and time again by Ricky Carmichael. Here comes Carmichael. Lots of speed. Windham gets a good line through there, though. Acceleration up the hill. The fans are going crazy here at Budds Creek. Ricky Carmichael wants to make his move. Boy, you got to hand it to Kevin Windham for holding on. Kevin with 2 podiums, a 4th and a 5th so far this year. Let's hear from Allie.
Allie, first of all, it's good to have you working again.
Thanks again. Thanks a lot. It's good to be back.
Good start for Kevin.
Yeah, he got a whole shot. He's running the pace right now. Hopefully he can just hang on.
How's he like this track?
It's one of his favorites. He likes it a lot.
How about that guy behind him? You think he's going to get nervous or start putting the pressure on?
I don't know. If he can ride his own race and not worry about Ricky, we'll be okay.
How do you not worry about Ricky Carmichael when he's bumping your rear tire?
You know, I think you have to look at it with a different strategy. I'm not sure what would be better for Kevin, if he were to just get mad, really mad, and fight Ricky, or if he just tries to do it with finesse and have a lot of fun out there and go, hey, this is just a good time. It's just like practice. This is just another training ride. Let's just have a good time, get the most out of myself, not get tight. I'm not sure what Kevin performs the best, but it seems like if you go down in the first corner and you get up and you're last, you're mad, you ride great. And when you're up front like this, you ride tight with all the pressure. He's got to find what works best for him.
Here comes Carmichael on the downhill. Can Kevin come back? Can he get mad? Oh, tough area to try to get back at him right there.
Yeah, that's one of the new sections there, Art, and it would have been great if it hadn't rained so much. It's a little bit one line down there now, but Carmichael took advantage of that rutted downhill. Kevin was trying to find a good line down through there, and Carmichael was like, I don't care how I look or what this line looks like, as long as I go fast and make the pass, and it worked. But this is what set it up. See how much farther he downsides that double, gets into that outside berm, carries a lot more momentum through the top, and then he wheelies that one bump that seems to be messing everyone else up, and just powers right through that rut. Kevin didn't go down the hill slow. Ricky just went down that much faster.
Oh, he broke so late. As we see Wyndham now in second place, Ferry is coming up right behind him on the Yamaha 4-stroke. LaRocco and Tortelli are starting to make a move now from 4th and 5th. They're on the fly as we take a look at Tim Ferry knocking on the door.
Look at the lead now. Ricky already out of that corner down the hill, just pulling away from these guys, so that it demoralizes Kevin a little bit. He had to fight so hard to hold him off, and as soon as Ricky got around, he just disappears. And instead of having a chance to regroup a little bit, take a deep breath, kind of shake it off and get back to business, he's got Ferry right there. So this could be a problem for Kevin, getting him a little tight and pumped up. He may not be able to recover.
Ferry's been running very consistent.
I'll tell you what, Art, I've always liked the way that Tim Ferry rides. I admire the way he rides. A lot like the way I enjoy watching Kevin ride, but for so many years he was just kind of back there, 5th, 6th, having some problems, just never really getting the break, that I just sort of gave up on him. And this year, just unbelievable the way he has blossomed. Now he is starting to ride the way I always thought he could. I don't think this is the end. He's going to keep getting faster.
8 previous motos, he's placed second in 5 of them, and here comes Tim Ferry on the downhill, moving in front of Kevin Wyndham into second place.
Same thing again, same way Carmichael got by Kevin. That's a really bad rutted downhill. Davey showed us that when he rode around the track earlier in the day.
Yeah, he almost qualified, didn't he?
If enough guys would have crashed, I think he would have won that qualifier.
Nice going, Davey. Tim Ferry now in second place, trying to pull a lead on Kevin Wyndham, as Ricky Carmichael, similar to Mike Brown in the first moto of the 125, just pulling away.
Yeah, Ferry and Carmichael, look at that, really dancing down that hill. Not bothering him, though. He's strong enough to handle that. Ferry and Carmichael, once again, both from Florida, out front. You got Sebastian Tortelli moving down there. I heard Langston's moving down there. Florida may be the new hotbed. It used to be Southern California, but it's just too crowded out there anymore. There's not as, riding areas aren't as good. I think Florida seems to be paying off, especially in this outdoor season. Now check out what happens here to Kevin. The line that Carmichael uses around the outside. Now Ferry's going to take the same line as Kevin, but he's going to drift over the berm on purpose, go right around and fall into the line that Carmichael had down the outside. He saw that a lap ago and thought, well, if Kevin takes that inside again, I'm going for it, and it worked. He had to be close as they approached that section, though, and he was.
It's not over for Kevin Wyndham. Here comes Mike LaRocca, number 5, and then Team Honda's Sebastian Tortelli, number 13.
Yeah, and good luck with these two. Because Tortelli means business. LaRocca, of course, we've seen him over the years come through the pack. Kevin's still trying to get comfortable. Ferry's starting to pull away, and now he's got this heat. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now. Psychologically, he's just already ruined the way Carmichael rode around him. Then Ferry caught him. He's starting to pull away. Now he's got this pressure. So, like I said before, I don't know if Kevin's going to be able to recover, and he certainly hasn't had a chance to with all this pressure. He's only a split second slower than these guys, but it's just enough to really make this a hard moto for him.
Mike LaRocca is on the move against Kevin Wyndham. In that same corner again, they're rubbing plastic. This time, Kevin holds his own. LaRocca dances to the inside before getting into the deep ruts.
I think Kevin's going to have a conversation with Jonathan Beasley and go about that new section. Going, hey, that new section, it sucks. I don't like it. He's gotten past there 3 times, but I think Tortelli may get him there too.
LaRocca riding like a 19-year-old despite turning 30 this year. He won the very first 250 event here at Budds Creek back in '94. And there goes Sebastian Tortelli around Wyndham. The floodgates are open.
Well, it started off good for Kevin, but I think Ricky just ruined it for him. He put so much pressure on him, forced him to ride so hard, so early on that he just was never able to recover. These guys all got a free ticket pass.
It's Ricky Carmichael, though, way out in front of our first moto. Let me remind you that Ricky Carmichael is way out in front here in the opening moto. And the battles have ensued behind him. Look at that. Mike LaRocco working against Tim Ferry. LaRocco has just been on a tear. And here comes Sebastian Tortelli, also on a Honda.
I think these guys might just be battling to be the first Honda. And Ferry is
the Honda sandwich right now.
I thought he was riding hard, but these guys really picked up the pace. I think they helped each other elevate that pace to catch Ferry. I don't think they could have done it by themselves. But Ferry could feel the pressure. They're all over him coming down this hill, and Ferry's looking for this berm right here, but he hits these braking bumps, gets a little swirly, goes wide, leaves the door wide open for LaRocco.
As far as LaRocco's concerned, 3 of the last 5 years he's ended up in the top 3 in 250 points in motocross, never dropping out of the top 5. He's currently 5th in points coming into this round. We mentioned already that LaRocco was the first one to win a 250 event here at Budds Creek, but he's also had some disturbing memories at Budds Creek.
The final round of the 125 Nationals back in '92, I guess. Jeff Emmett came in here and took advantage of a misfortune by LaRocco. He broke his shift lever, lost the championship here at this track. I don't know. Sometimes you go to tracks where you've done well and you feel good about going there. I wonder if that ever messes with his head a little bit, going, man, I could have had a 125 title under my belt if I hadn't been for this place.
On the other hand, in '94, when he won that 250 race here, he also won the 250 motocross championship that year. Came in second in Supercross that same season. That was a great year for him. Tim Ferry, number 15. He's trying to hold off Sebastian Tortelli right now. Tortelli anxious to move up in the points.
Now listen to the difference in the sound. Tortelli just screaming that Honda all over the place. Ferry just kind of chugging it along with all that torque.
Here comes Ferry right back again. Oh, great bar-to-bar battle. Ferry tries to cut to the inside. Tortelli just lost that rear wheel just enough.
Ferry at the bottom of that hill, you could see his intentions. He was just trying to get that corner squared off, get by. It worked good. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. The acceleration of Tortelli up the hill. So we've got Carmichael out in front, LaRocco and Tortelli second and third, with Ferry now in 4th place. The top 4 positions really changing during this first moto of the 250s. We'll be right back with more 250 action from Budds Creek right after these words. With Ricky's Mechanic.
The weather here at Budds Creek has been a little iffy, so for this week's Kawasaki bike setup, we thought we'd ask Chad Watts what he has going for Ricky Carmichael. Chad?
Yeah, we got some rain from that tropical storm, and the track's not in a sloppy condition, just the mud's going to be really heavy due to the clay and the dirt. So didn't have to protect the air boot or the carb from water, so we just basically put a lot of fuel cell around the motor and the chassis to keep the weight down and to stop mud from getting put in the controls, and just put a solid base skid plate on it. And hopefully with that should be all the precautions we should have to take.
Well, we'll see if Chad can keep the mud off Ricky's bike and the bike out front. That's this week's Kawasaki bike setup.
Must have been a good setup. Ricky doesn't usually change his bike too much from track to track.
No, I didn't either. Once I got something I liked, I left it alone. So I didn't want to go out there guessing at what the bike was going to feel like in the next moto or the next practice session. And the only time it's really need to change anything is if it's muddy or sandy or real extreme conditions.
Here in the late going of the first moto, really the only position to be determined up front is Mike LaRocco and Sebastian Tortelli for second place.
Well, LaRocco's got company. He had a pretty good lead over Sebastian there at one point. When Tortelli was battling still with Ferry, LaRocco got away, but now that battle's tightening back up.
Mike LaRocco extending his career with the good sponsorship of Amsoil and Dr. Martens. Having his own team, but also an agreement with Honda, so he gets the factory parts.
You know, if I was Mike, I could still have the desire. Could still go this fast, finish up there in the top 3, 4, win some stuff here and there. Look at Ricky. He's only right there. 21 years old, 9 years younger than LaRocco. having the best year of his career, and LaRocco's right there. So if I were LaRocco, I'd keep racing. As long as I could continue to perform like this. He brings the family to the races anyway. Ryder's out there enjoying it, doing his own moto in the pits while Dad's out there chasing Carmichael down.
And LaRocco's always been physically fit. There's the checkered flag for Ricky Carmichael. And for the second race in a row, he's won that opening moto, which proved to be his nemesis as far as taking over the points lead earlier in the season. Carmichael, LaRocco, Tortelli the top three. Ferry and Wyndham rounding out the top five, and Villeman doing a good job of coming up through the pack for sixth. Ezra Lustigan seventh. Let's go to Davey now with the winner.
Ricky, that looked like a hard one. As soon as you got clear from Wyndham, had a couple Hondas behind you.
Yeah, I did. I seen those guys coming up. My left arm was so tight I couldn't even pull in the clutch. So I need to figure something out for the next moto. You know, it feels good to get that win. I don't know what happened to Kevin and Timmy. I was all over Kevin. I couldn't get by him. You know, I knew once I get by him, I'd pull away, but he was just kind of in the way there. And finally, I got by him and was able to secure the moto win. But you know, I could barely pull in my clutch. My left arm was so tight. I need to figure something out.
Did you fall on your arm or just nerves?
I don't know. Just holding on so tight, you know. I couldn't breathe when I was behind Kevin. There's so much dirt coming in my mouth, and you know, but it feels good. I take it any way I can do it, and I'm going to get out there that next moto and hammer as hard as I can.
All right, we'll let you get back to the pits, Ricky. Good ride.
It was Mike LaRocco winning the battle of the Hondas with Sebastian Tortelli to take over second. Davey?
Mike, that was an excellent late charge. You almost caught Carmichael.
Yeah, I definitely started too late. I was right there in the start. I just didn't get going soon enough, and finally I got my AMSOIL Doc Martens Honda into a groove, and I started making some time, but as usual, I ran out.
Sounds like you got a frog in your throat or something, too.
I think it's about that big a dirt clog. I'm trying to get it up, but it ain't coming.
Another Honda rider, Sebastian Tortelli, is right behind you. You guys went by Ferry. What was that battle like?
It was good. I mean, we had a better pace going than Ferry did, and I'm glad I got around him easy because he's kind of been a pain in the butt to me lately. So, you know, I went by him and so did Tortelli, and we just kept going.
What about the second moto? Can you get after Ricky with the low bar start?
It's going to take a better start. I mean, Ricky rides good, and as we all know, so I got to get out there with him and try and chase him down.
So in our first moto, number 14, Kevin Wyndham got the early advantage, but then Ricky Carmichael, there you see him coming into the picture, took over things and ran away with it. So Ricky Carmichael in good position, LaRocco in good position for the overall, as well as Sebastian Tortelli, as we look forward to moto number 2 of the 125s. That's coming up next on ESPN2.
Starting gate, getting ready for the beginning of the second moto. I want to show you guys something. Last week, Travis Pastrana touched with Mike Brown at the start. Mike Brown said he would not line up near Travis again. Check out how far down the start they are separated. Travis chooses an outside line, Mike Brown on the inside right where he was.
I agree with the idea of not starting next to each other. I like where Brown's starting, but I don't understand why Travis went so wide. Fonseca's out there too, and if anything happens in the first corner, it happens right into those guys. They better get a good jump.
Who gets the jump here with the second moto of the 125s? Ramsey with another great start. Sellers with a good start. Whoa, Travis Pastrana goes down off to the left there. Fonseca's off to the right. There's Fonseca's mechanic, Kenny Germain, going for a ride as well.
Well, that just confirms what I was worried about. I didn't understand why Travis and Fonseca would go that far outside. Fonseca maybe because he seems to get pretty good starts in that four-stroke, but if you're not in the top 5 off the line, you're in trouble in that first corner. Everyone just shoves you to the fence.
Ramsey, Ward, Sellers, the top 3. Ramsey's second hole shot of the afternoon. Mike Brown in good position to move up. Oh, Ivan Tedesco was mixed up in that turn 1 melee. Number 42. The Plano Honda rider looks like he's out for the afternoon.
Well, this is how the first moto should have looked for Nathan Ramsey after he got the whole shot there, but went down. You see, once again, a little bit of water on the track. Larry Ward trying not to stay in the roost of Ramsey, save his vision, keep from getting sprayed with mud. And Ward and Sellers in good position here, ahead of Brown right now. The overall is up for grabs between all 3 of those guys.
Boniface and Curry on the Hondas in good position. But right now, the battle's for first. Ramsey slowing down. Ward looking for a way to get around him.
Well, it's hard not to get ahead of yourself here if you're Larry Ward, but he must be thinking overall right now. He's got that flashing through his mind.
Ramsey coming off his first podium at Southwick, and Ward makes the move inside. Ramsey now in second place. Brock Sellers is on his tail. Ramsey not wanting to give up that lead position, though, trying to fire back on Ward.
Smart move on Larry's part to get out front as early as possible, try to put a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. He's already starting to do that.
Harry Thornton, Larry's stepdad, Moto XXX crew's got to be all smiles right now. Could this be the first YZ250's motocross victory?
Now they got two of them out front right now. Nathan can act as a pretty good buffer for a while to help Larry pick up this overall win. Sellers, all those guys, they got to fight around Ramsey, and Brown is still back there around 5th right now, so what an opportunity. Larry's my hero right now. He's just out here having a good time, and he may win this thing.
His last motocross win, a 125 victory at Southwick in 1992. He took the top honors at Washougal in 91 and Southwick in 89. 3 125 motocross victory overalls for Larry Ward. He's trying to make it number 4.
Pretty amazing the amount of time that's gone by where he's still competitive. Remember Seattle, 9 years apart he won that Supercross.
Mike Brown in 5th. We'll be right back with more 125 action. Champions battle at Glen Helen. Travis raced to a 3rd overall. It was a 2nd overall at Sacramento, but Grant Langston swept both rounds for a 28-point lead. On a muddy track at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, Pastrana answered Langston's challenges, sweeping both motos to take the overall win. At Southwick, Travis put an exclamation point on his title defense, taking him to the points lead with his 2nd overall victory. Back to the action now in our 2nd Moto, the 125s here at Budds Creek, Maryland, as Larry Ward is leading Nathan Ramsey, Brock Sellers in 3rd, and there's Mike Brown. Brown starting to pick things up now. He's on the attack of Boniface, number 531 there on the Honda. Brown in 5th. Tries the outside, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him, David.
Yeah, but he's caught these guys. He's got a lot faster pace. He had a lot faster pace than they had the first moto. I have a feeling Boniface is going to real lesson here in a moment of what it's like to go faster on this Budds Creek track.
Brown still in front of Pastrana, who's back at 8th, and Brown goes down. He came up fast on the back of Boniface and ran right into the back tire. There's Nathan Ramsey, number 28.
Well, he just has a little hesitation right here, which causes Boniface to just pause for a second, and then Brown was like, come on, you guys, you're going too slow. He reached for the clutch to try to keep it running, but the throttle was down there buried in the dirt, and he stalled it, but he won't lose a position. How about the noise of Ramsey's bike? That's got to be driving Boniface nuts right now. These things are so loud in the first place, and now he's got a muffler problem.
So Larry Ward has got the advantage of being out in front of the traffic. Boniface trying to make a challenge on Nathan Ramsey.
Neither one of these guys really had much of a first moto, and now here they are running right up front. They got a little breathing room now with Brown going down. Boniface gets the edge on that inside, but I still think these guys are going to see Brown show up here again pretty soon.
Boniface on the Amsoil Honda is on his way to his best moto performance. His best previous was a 10th at Mount Morris and a 10th in the first moto here. Let's go to Davey.
Well, Doug, if you were having fun working with Larry Ward in the first moto, I can't imagine what this is like. You guys are out front.
Well, it's unbelievable right now. I hope Larry's going to pull this off. He knows he has the speed to do it, so we're going to see what happens here.
How was he between motos?
Very calm, relaxed. He was pleased with his 2nd. He knows he's got the speed, so he's just waiting for the next time to go out.
I think he was also waiting for a couple starts like he's gotten here at Budds Creek.
Well, that was an excellent start, and that's what he needed to start this one off. So let's see what happens from here.
Ward was a privateer in Supercross when he finished 2nd behind McGrath in 1995. That was the highest finish in the sport's history in Supercross. A 2nd place. He was on a Yamaha then. That was a 2-stroke. Here's Steve Boniface currently in 3rd, but he's got pressure from behind. Nathan Ramsey, number 28, on a 4-stroke.
You can still hear Nathan Ramsey everywhere around the track. Sounds like a chainsaw.
A big chainsaw. Let's go to David.
John, when Nathan Ramsey came through the Kankstead area, the bike sounded awful. Can you tell what's wrong?
Yeah, it looks like maybe from that first turn crash I might have missed something, or maybe a rock or something, but the header pipe is broken.
You guys are not having a very good day.
Now, you know, we got a good start in the first moto, and then we got a good start in the second moto. First moto was crashed, now this, so I guess that's just racing.
Looks like he's trying to have a good attitude about it, Art, but I think deep down he'd like to throw some stuff.
Yeah. Mike Brown still making progress in the battle for fifth now. Well, look at the speed he's generating downhill on Scott Sheik. Both these guys riding in Europe last year. Scott very disappointed with his arrangement. Finally left the team to join the American motocross scene. Mike Brown had it planned all along. Sits way back as they accelerate up the hill. Nathan Ramsey currently in fourth. You heard about his problems. And Mike Brown is pursuing him very quickly.
He's hearing about him too right now.
I think it's obvious that going to Europe for 2 years has really toughened Mike up mentally and physically.
Look at this, that outside line over there for Mike has really paid off. It sets him up better for this corner. He can just swoop right in there and really be aggressive through that berm. No problem getting around people. That's his little ace. Every time he catches up to somebody, he makes the pass right there.
He's the fastest bike on the track right now. It's important for Larry Ward, who's in first place, to keep up that speed. Cutting to the inside, he's showing Ramsey a wheel. Let's go down to the mechanics area. Davey Coombs is with Mike Brown's mechanic.
Steve, we've been following Mike's progress. Not as easy a time as the first moto, but he still looks fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing good. He's making a few mistakes early on. I mean, he went down one time, so, I mean, he just needs to keep his head together, and hopefully we'll get up behind Larry Ward at the later stages of the race.
Are you going to let him know that Pastrana's behind him? I mean, I know it's a distant one right now, but you are on a points battle.
Yeah, I think all he needs to concentrate at the moment is who's in front of him, and we'll worry about who's behind us afterwards.
If it wasn't for an awful day at the Hangtown Classic, Mike Brown would be really in the title hunt already. He has 3 second-place finishes and a 38 at Hangtown.
Yeah, Hangtown killed him. Even if he just would have had one of those motos, you know, where he finished in the top 5 at golf, that would put him in striking distance with Travis, especially with the points he's putting on Travis today.
And how meaningful is it to have Grant Langston with a separated shoulder, expected to go under surgery next week? It is huge right now for Travis Pastrana. Mike Brown just going to maybe need some help in getting back up the points ladder to challenge Travis Pastrana.
Guys struggling through that berm. That's the fastest line, but to stay exactly in it, you can see these guys really struggling, putting their foot down, getting up off the seat. And I think that Brown should be able to get around Ramsey no problem. Ramsey's got to be distracted as well from all the noise his bike's making, plus the power hurting a little bit. And here comes Brown's favorite section, for passing, that is.
Mike Brown puts down that throttle, my goodness. The speed he generates down that hill and still controls hitting that berm perfect on the turn.
Well, it just makes sense to go out wide because you're coming out of a left-hander going into another one. If it was car race, that's where they'd be running. So, and there's no ruts out there. At least they don't seem to be as bad.
But Tim Ferry, he's got his pressure there in second place, number 15.
Oh, here comes Carmichael out of nowhere. You know what? Now the overall is within his grasp. I thought it was going to take a miracle, but this year he's been the miracle kid. What a ride from so far. He was in 19th, and he caught these guys.
We're back at Budds Creek, Maryland. Kevin Windham continues to lead, number 14 on the Suzuki. And one thing about this moto, as adverse to the first one, David Bailey, no one's been able to catch him.
Now, when you get Kevin out in the clear, he's awesome, and just you can forget about catching him. But it's when you get a close battle that seems to be his weakness. When he gets a little tight and he gets in a fight, maybe he thinks too much or he's not confident enough or something, and he doesn't ride as good as he does when he's got a little bit of space. No one's been able to pressure him, and his lap times haven't changed much at all. He's been flawless.
He's had only one moto on the year worse than fourth, and that was a sixth-place finish at Southwick. But he's on his way right now to winning his very first moto of the season.
That's going to do wonders for his confidence. He'll get to brew on that for a couple of weeks before they hit the next round.
Well, it means an overall, too, if Ricky can't get by Dowd. White flag, final lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't win this thing for some reason, he's going to kick himself for not fighting in that first moto a little bit more. Only one position in that first moto could have made a big difference here. That's only if Carmichael can get around Dowd. I don't know if that's going to be possible.
I think we've already mentioned that Kevin Windham won here in 1999. In fact, he won 2 races. He also won the U.S. GP, taking Stefan Everts that same year. That was a great year for Kevin Windham as far as a feeling of accomplishment is concerned, whipping the international stars as well. But right now, Kevin, I don't think he could feel any better when he sees the checkered flag.
Look at him nodding and shaking his head going, yep, I'm the man, I'm feeling it. This is how I can ride. This is how I should ride all the time. Don't ask me why I can't. But I got it going on now. So this is, like I said, with a couple of week break after this event, we'll be able to hold on to this feeling a little while and should be able to take that momentum to the next round.
Now, it was Paul Carpenter, a lapper, that was behind him, so have no fear as far as Kevin Windham fans are concerned, and Ricky Carmichael. What an amazing comeback from about 19th place.
Look how fast he's going. He's pinned. He's going everywhere you look on the racetrack. He's just a little bit faster than everyone else. And everyone's trying as hard as they can. This kid is he's just got a little bit more than everyone else. No matter how high they raise the bar, he's got some more.
Look at how slow Kevin Windham's going. With the confidence, he's still going to win this thing. That's how far out in front he was.
He's just having a good time this last lap.
There's John Dowd, number 16. And Carmichael has not given up about the fact of passing that guy before this race is over with.
He's got to have it for the overall. Kevin has no idea what's going on back there. He's just happy he won this moto. Probably has no idea that the overall is his.
Very popular here with fans in Maryland. Very educated to the fact that this has been one of his favorite tracks as he goes up to the finish line very easily. Takes the checkered flag for his first moto win of the season. Kevin Windham, a great race. But the battle for 4th is on now. Carmichael can win the overall if he passes John Dowd. Carmichael to the inside. Dowdy tries to come back, but no. Carmichael's got the position. What a great race for Ricky Carmichael.
I'll tell you what, Art, didn't I say I didn't think there was any way he could win this overall?
You did.
Sitting there in 19th.
He's going to make a liar out of you.
So much ground to make up. All the players got great starts. He was back there in no man's land, and I cannot believe he has done this again.
Ricky Carmichael found himself in the unaccustomed position of 4th in the points race as we see that pass again.
Boy, that tells you right there. Shows you he means business. He gave Dowd an elbow saying, get out of my way. I don't know if he realizes this is what he needed for the overall. It doesn't even matter. Even if he didn't know, he'd still try this hard.
The turnaround at Southwick, winning 2 motos. He gets the checkered flag. He gets his 2nd consecutive win on the season. Amazing for Ricky Carmichael. We'll be right back.
And when he gets in a situation like this, he can put the afterburners on and catch these guys.
With Windham in the lead, Carmichael will have to get at least a couple more positions for a chance at the overall. He gets right by Ryan Hughes easily there.
I'll tell you what, that might have looked easy, but Rhino went down that hill pretty fast. He's got to be thinking, all right, this guy's not human. He jumped down the hill. Look at Ricky. Goes through the ruts, jumps partway through there, just powers past, and still makes the corner. Unbelievable. You see that what's really been the key for Carmichael is the fact that he's been able to come through traffic and make all those passes and still gain time on pretty much everybody but Windham out front.
Now the sign of a great champion, making it look easy. John Dowd, number 16 on the KTM. Now this might be important for Ricky Carmichael here.
Now every rider he can pass
As you see, Mike LaRocco is behind number 16 now. Lappers wisely moving out of the way.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near this.
Mike LaRocco, who took a second in the first moto. He still has a chance in there.
Now LaRocco stayed so much lower to the ground off that jump. That's what helped him make that pass. Dowd had the better line, the inside, more power, and Dowd stayed low to the ground, got back on it, and just moved right over in front of Dowd.
There's a new situation in the mechanics area. Let's go down and check with Davey Combs. Davey, what's the problem?
Guys, while watching Sebastian Tortelli trying to go for this overall, check out his teammate Ezra Lusk. It looks like his bike is broken. Ezra is walking behind it. He seems to be fine. You see the mechanics pushing off. Ezra Lusk, his bad streak also continues.
Ezra Lusk, whose contract is up with the Honda team. Interesting to see what happens. He's not had a very productive year here in the motocross season. Mike LaRocco has continued to lead the Hondas as far as points and positioning this year. There's Ricky Carmichael making a move. Carmichael and Ferry going at it.
Well, that didn't look like friends. Ferry got him right back. That was an aggressive move, and here comes Carmichael again. Whoa! Ferry beats him down the hill. That's surprising.
The battle of Floridians here. Ferry kind of boxing him out on the turn right there. Carmichael, relentless.
Well, maybe that was the, we're seeing some of the pain in the butt that Mike LaRocco was talking about, trying to get around Ferry. He's seeing it right there. I don't blame him. He's fighting for that position. He shouldn't just give it to him. But he's going to have to.
Looked like they scraped a little bit there. Carmichael making the move before the finish line jump.
I just have this funny feeling that if you push Carmichael a little bit more than what Ferry just did, you just might end up in the fence. Ricky means business this moto. He probably still thinks he can win it. I mean, this guy has the highest expectations of any motocrosser I've ever seen. He wants to win every moto. He wants the fastest lap. He wants to win practice. He wants to win everything. No excuses. He goes for it no matter what. Look at this move. He goes to the outside. He knows that's going to put him on the inside into the next corner. And if he was only able to get up alongside Ferry, well, guess what was going to happen to Ferry? He'd have been down there in those woods.
Earlier in the afternoon, he won his 6th moto of the season. As he continues to lead the points, here's Sebastian Tortelli. Tortelli fell twice in the second moto of the last race at Southwick with his 7th overall, but he's still only 14 points behind the leader, Ricky Carmichael. It's Wyndham, Tortelli, LaRocco, the top 3, with Dowd holding on to 4th. Carmichael needs that spot. Number 14 on the Team Suzuki, Kevin Wyndham, winning the 2nd moto. Really not a good score today to get on the podium overall, but his first moto win of the season. Kevin Wyndham, Sebastian Tortelli in 2nd place in our 2nd moto, along with Mike LaRocco. Ricky Carmichael coming all the way back to 4th place, getting around John Dowd. That was a big move. Let's go to Davey.
Well, Kevin, that was about as perfect a moto as I think I've ever seen.
Well, I'm glad because I had some ground to make up after the first one, you know. It's so aggravating when you're running for the championship and you go back to the truck and, you know, with a ride like that. And, you know, all my great sponsors and all you know, the bike and everything, man. It just feels good to go out and be able to do it the 2nd moto. And, you know, hopefully I can come out here without losing too much.
Very good ride, Kevin.
Thanks a lot.
The overall going to Ricky Carmichael for the 4th time in 5 starts at this track. His 2nd consecutive win, moving him to within 1 of tying Bob Hanna's all-time AMA National Motocross win record of 37. Davey's with him.
Well, Ricky, it wasn't pretty, but it was the overall.
Yeah, I can't believe that a 1-4 gets you an overall. I made a mistake on my behalf over there and tweaked my front end all up, and I had to ride hard. You know, every point counts, and I just want to keep going and going and going hard, and that's what it's going to take. These guys are riding really well, and you know, what can I say? The bike was working good today, and I still need to iron out, you know, my mistakes. I don't think I've ever made this many mistakes. It's like it's my rookie year out here, but
I know that after winning 13 straight Supercross races, winning 2 straight nationals. Doesn't seem like a bunch, but this is a tough series.
Yeah, it is a tough series. Everybody's running good. Their bikes are working good, and I just need to get up there and ride hard and get good starts. I can't afford those bad starts like that because that's when bad things can happen. And I'm going to go this weekend off and work my butt off and see what happens.
Well, Ricky Carmichael taking a 13-point lead over Kevin Windham. Tortelli still in the battle, 15 points back. He had a third and a second. Let's go to Davey.
Well, Sebastian, we were trying to keep score, and up until about 3 turns from the finish, you would have had the overall win.
Yeah, I know Ricky looks like running strong, and I probably crashed or something. And, you know, I was good. You know, I crashed in the one corner and lost quite a bit some time on Kevin. So, you know, first moto was great, second moto was not as good, but, you know, I'm looking forward to the next race.
I know that last year Carmichael got on a roll. It looks like this year you guys are all going with him.
Yeah, you know, I think he got a pretty strong ride last weekend, but I'm sure we can hold him and get in front.
The weather today, the track, the racing, all terrific at Budds Creek, Maryland. With Mike Brown taking a sweep, surprising the hometown hero Travis Pastrana. Kawasaki sweeps a national event for the first time since August of '98. That was Millville, when Ricky Carmichael, who took the 250 crown today, won the 125s, and Jeff Emig for Kawasaki took the 250s. Art Ekman for David Bailey, Davey Coombs, thanking you for being with us from Budds Creek, Maryland. Hope you can join us next for Red Bud. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.